All right. All right. We did a countdown. So you're looking live at Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talks. I'm the host, DJ I Tell You What. And I'm joined with my co-host, my dad, Cowboy Joe, also known as Cowboy Joe 64. We live on both of our Facebooks and we live on Twitter. And today is just going to be a different show. We are going to talk about the Cowboy schedule release, but we're going to talk about a few more things too. We're going to talk about the Michael movie. We are huge fans of Michael Jackson, and so we want to talk about the movie. And then also Jason Kidd got fired, and so we want to talk about Jason Kidd getting fired and what that means, and was it time? And then so you want to say what's up to the people, because after you do, I'm gonna play the intro.
What's up, people?
All right, so that's that. So I'll play the intro, and then we'll be back in a minute. The Generation Cowboys and Sports Talk. My dad, my partner, my co-host, Cowboy Joe 64.
I am your father.
Just to get the Cowboys 2 good games to hopefully understand that they need to go receiver and go high with this next pick.
Yeah, yeah, that's really what this is gonna be about. All right, and let's see. Okay, so yeah, so what do you want to start with? Let's start with the schedule. So the schedule, the Dallas. Let's start with the schedule. So the Dallas Cowboys schedule. After looking at the schedule and having a chance
Are
to,
you able to show it on that screen?
I'm pulling it up now. So after having a chance to sit with the schedule, what do you think about that? What do you think about the schedule after you had a chance to kind of
Yeah,
sit with it?
while you pulling it up, so I talked about on our show with Big Time when we first started how the Cowboys still are a major draw. You think they kind of lose their luster, so to speak, but they not. They still, the NFL is still, you know, they know how to play the hits, and they're gonna always go with Dallas. And I remember way back in the day, and they was talking to one of the executives that was doing the schedule, and his comment was, when in doubt, I always go with Dallas. I mean, this was like, back in the '90s, so that hadn't changed. So the primetime games, a lot of big games. So I mean, it's a tough schedule. What I did this weekend, I looked at the Rams schedule. I actually think, I haven't told you this, I think the Cowboys and the Rams are going to be the NFC Championship game, and so we're going to play them out there later in the season. But I got a feeling it's going to be Dallas and LA for that NFC Championship game. I haven't decided where we're going to play it at, but I think those are going to be the two teams. If I had to guess, I think Dallas and the Rams are going to be the teams that are going to make it to the NFC Championship game. And the Rams got a tough schedule. It's tough.
If I had to guess, I think it's gonna be Dallas and Seattle.
And you like Seattle just because of the defense and
Yeah, and they just that team that they just can put it all together. They have a good coaching staff. They got a good defense. They got a good offense. They got good everything, and they just they that now that like K Rock always say, you got to pay your dues or whatever. Now that they've paid their dues, it's kind of like they there now. So now they went from being like a contender to like a winner. So it's just like now they one of them teams where they gonna have that confidence and that spark that they have. They gonna roll with that. Like, nah, we the champions, and I feel like they gonna beat the Rams out of their division.
see, I think the Seahawks are going to struggle because they just had that Super Bowl hangover. When you win it, especially that first time, if you're not like a super team, you're gonna kind of struggle the next year. So I just think they're gonna struggle. But I mean, I ain't counting them out. But so that fourth game against the Texans, obviously, that's a rivalry between the fam here in Houston, here in Dallas, and in Houston. Is that a 12 o'clock game?
Uh, let's see. Mm,
Yeah, you got it right there on your screen.
yeah, I know. I shouldn't have zoomed it, but I did. Let me see.
Yeah, it's 12.
Now what was it? What was the question?
And I said the Houston game is going to be fun with the Houston fam and the Dallas fam.
Yeah,
'Cause
and we should make that a thing too. We should get with our Houston family, and we should like at least watch it. I mean, we really could get together. Some of us could get together, or we could or we could like do something on Zoom or something to where we could all watch it. But it's a 12 o'clock game. And are we playing there or are they playing? Are we playing here?
we playing in Houston.
See, that would be a good thing to go to with the Houston family. With those that can go, we should be like, hey, we coming down there and going to the game. Y'all want to go to the game? Because the games in Houston is probably not expensive as the game in Dallas. I
Oh, it's
don't
going to
think.
be expensive.
Oh well.
It's going to be a Super Bowl for them.
Yeah,
Them tickets going to be really expensive down there. When
well they got a nice
Dallas
stadium.
coming to play them, yeah, it's going to be a big game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the game against the Packers. I'm not sure if Michael's going to be ready. I'm hoping Michael don't rush himself back, but I
Mm-mm.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, nah. And then Micah plays that kind of position to where he don't need to rush himself back. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be putting a lot of pressure on that ACL. But the thing with the ACLs are the the uh the the rehab that they have for it now. It's kind of like boom, you get the ACL, you get the rehab, and then you get it, and now everything else is about strengthening and conditioning, and then it's all about like trying to get your confidence back. And Micah doesn't strike me as the type of person that doesn't have any confidence. Once he feel like he can go, he gonna go.
Yeah, and these guys haven't been coming back from these ACLs the way they had been. So I think it's got something to do with the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see they putting in grass at AT&T for the World Cup. So,
Yeah,
but
they
yeah,
should be
it's
doing that for. They should be doing that for the players too. But these players, um, these the owners, they like the fast. They like everything to be super fast, and they like the excitement and the scoring of the points. So obviously when you have that turf, that surface, the players are moving faster and the hits are
mhm.
probably a little harder, and it's probably more excitement when they moving faster like that. Because some of these teams, you can tell the difference between when they play on turf and when they play on grass. Like our team with Amari Cooper, when Amari Cooper played on turf, it was like it's like he was a track athlete.
Mhm.
But when he played on grass, it didn't look like that. The same with Zeke. It's like with Zeke, when Zeke would be on that turf, it's just like, bruh, get out of his way. It's just like, because if he initiates contact, you're gonna get ran over. So you
Yeah, I
know,
had to put the link on my Twitter. But yeah, it's thing. We talked about it on our show before. We don't really play good on grass, and that's a problem. Our
mhm.
team in the '90s, they played really everywhere. They played good, but they definitely played good on grass. So this team, it's you want to say they're a dome team, but they got to figure this thing out. I'm looking at the schedule. I don't know who all they play on grass.
Well,
It
I can
looks
tell you
like
one thing that I heard about that made me think about some AT&T Stadium. You know, and then what's so crazy about it is, it would be like a work of art if like Jerry didn't have an influence on it. Hey, Kels is in the chat.
hey, Kels, good to see you.
It would be like a work of art. It still is a work of art, but the Joneses, Jerry definitely had something to do with the mapping out of it, because it's just like, for one, it's no way that it should have been east and west. That's number one. That should not have happened. Then number two, why would you put this retractable roof on this stadium, but you have a gigantic screen of one of a kind right up under it? So it's no point of having an open ceiling, because you can't even see out of it, because when you look up, you got this mile long screen. So what's the point of having a retractable roof if you never ever use it? Yeah, they never use it. And then it's just like, on top of that, it's just like, how many games and playoff games can we point to and say, yo, we might have won that game if the sun didn't get in Cedric Wilson's eyes, or the sun didn't get, we might would have won that game. And if CD didn't lose the ball in the light. And then us being native to Dallas, we go to AT&T Stadium all the time because it's events at it all the time. And when we go to AT&T Stadium, we can clearly see that they have curtains. We can clearly see that they have mechanisms to where they can make that go away, but they don't on purpose. So it's just like it's craziness, and they about to do like a renovation to it, and a lot of money. I was over there this past weekend. It looked beautiful.
So I don't know what the renovations are. They definitely can't make it bigger, but
Hmm.
uh, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's weird. I think they've had a couple of games where the roof has been open.
Yeah,
I think if you're inside the stadium, you can see the roof is open.
but if
But
you're down on the field, you can't.
no, not on the field.
No.
Uh, but no, I think I mentioned it on our OG podcast, and I shout out to Big Time Show and B Bird. We're gonna try to get back on track and do our show at some point this weekend. But uh, but yeah, I think the stadium being east and west. I think what actually happened is the the uh, the plot of land where they built it on. I don't think it would have fit north and west.
North
So
and
that's
south.
north and south. That's why I think they built it that way. And then the sun, I don't even think they thought about it. But yeah, I think when people stop talking about that, he'll put the curtains up, or they can just tint the windows, which is really what they should do. That you can tint the windows, and that might actually be part of the renovations. They might just tint the windows, so
And
when they
then you remember when they first started it, I can see with both, and I have been to games where the roof was open. Yeah, I mean, but it's pointless to be there. And then, cause it's not like old Cowboy Stadium when the roof was like open and like they would say like that guy was looking in on the Cowboy watching his favorite team play. You know, that
yeah
was kind of cool. But it's like I've been to a game where I've been at the stadium when the roof was open. It was a night game. It was a night game. I remember the roof being open, and I've seen it being open a couple times. Remember they opened it for when we did the All-Star game. Remember it had all that ice on it, and they opened it, and all that ice fell off of it.
yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, but I'm just saying the whole thing about the sun being in their eyes, that just be getting on my nerves. And then it's just like, but it does look nice, but it affects the players. And you would think that like it would give you some kind of advantage if
So
you
so
you know what I'm saying.
so you guys were around the stadium last weekend.
Yeah, we was right across from it.
Oh, okay. So what looks different over there now?
I mean, it's just every time you go by there, it's just something that just looks at it just looks great. And then the Ranger Stadium right there next to it, it looks great too. So it's just a nice area. It just looked nice. The greenery, the stadium itself looked nice. You could see through it. It just looked nice.
Yeah,
It
I
looked
mean
nice
it's
when they had the doors open. I mean, when they had the doors open instead of they had the doors open and the roof down, it'd be looking nice.
it's still the best stadium,
Yeah, well,
and
they got some
I don't.
competition. Atlanta got a nice stadium.
Uh,
No, not
I
Atlanta.
think.
Las Vegas got a nice stadium.
Oh yeah, theirs is nice, but
Yeah, LA got a nice stadium.
yep, they got a nice one. But yeah, back on this schedule, rounding it up. I just think that, like I said, when you
Oh,
look at the
come on, Kel said, have they changed the name yet? No, they haven't changed the name. It still say AT&T Stadium on the side.
oh, they
I
finna
seen
do
it.
like a
A
name
rebranding.
change.
If I'm not mistaken, I think AT&T re-upped their contract for 30 years. That's what I thought I seen.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. But yeah, looking at this stadium as you rounded up, I told you when we looked at it that I think the Giants game is going to be a tough game. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk by any means. Um, some of the Giants players are commenting already about how they can see things are going to be tougher around there. So they gonna come. They're gonna be sharp. It's gonna be Harbaugh's opening game. So it's gonna be a tough game. And then that Ravens game,
Yeah.
we haven't been able to beat them lately. So it's gonna be
No.
it's gonna be tough.
Um, I'm not really worried about no NFC East opponents because we always either beat them or split with them. But it's the other teams that we can't beat. We will we will beat the Eagles 2 times in a row and then lose to Detroit in the first round. We will sweep the NFC East and then go to the first round and play Tampa Bay and somehow lose. So it's like we don't we play team. I mean, we play our foes, our NFC East foes, really good, and it's always a split. You never know. The Redskins can be. I mean, I'm sorry, the Commanders could be the worst team in the NFL, but they'll beat us in week 13. That's just how. That's just kind of how that go. But also, they will lose to the rest of the NFL and we will too. So it's like, nah, we need to beat teams like Detroit. We need to beat teams like Green Bay. We need to beat teams like the Ravens. Like we need to beat teams consistently like the Chiefs, like how we beat them last year. We need to do things like that. If we beat those teams, now we talking. But we beating our teams like the Eagles, it don't really give me no. Like what I said, we beat the Giants, okay, and we supposed to beat the Giants. That
So
doesn't mean anything to me.
I want to ask Kels about this jersey thing with Downs. What's really happening there? I think it's kind of goofy what they're doing, and I think what you should do is just give him a number that sort of makes sense until he can get to. Which I think by game one he's going to be wearing number 2. There's no question in my mind
Who
about
is
it.
number
But
two anyway?
so number 2 is your guy, Kobe Durant. He's wearing it at the moment. So
Okay.
he don't really want to give it up from what we're hearing. But let me say this correction. He wants number 14. Durant does, but Bell is wearing 14. So,
Bell gonna have to take that L.
and I'm not even sure Bell will make the team.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying. He gonna have to take that L.
he's a guy I like Bell, but he's one of the guys that I think it's going to be hard for him to make it. I
Yeah,
don't
because
think
in
he
this
fits.
system, yeah, no, he doesn't.
He's not fast enough.
No,
He's
and we don't
really
really have like a rover in our system.
no. I think if you lined Leofile and Bell up in a foot race, Leofile would beat him.
Leofau is just a better player.
Yeah, he's a better player. So no, I think that Durant will end up with 14. I just don't like Downs wearing 13 in the meantime. It's goofy. Now you notice I mentioned this to somebody on Twitter. They don't talk about it, but they don't give out the number 8. They don't give out 22 and 12. You notice that?
Yeah,
And I also don't understand why they're giving out 33. That's goofy.
and I don't understand why they give out 21 either.
21 is another one. Now, obviously, sometimes you just kind of run out of numbers, and guys have to wear different numbers. But then they
No one
got
should get 22. No one should get 8. No one should get 9 either. No one should
who
get
said that? Kels?
no, I'm saying that.
Oh,
No one should get 9 either. And
mm.
88, I like that. I like CD getting 88. I like Dez getting 88.
Yeah, you
But
got a thing with the 88 club. That's a whole
yeah,
different thing
yeah,
on its own.
I don't
But
think he wants to pay that price.
now I would
Uh
love to see.
Kel said Downs will be in 13 for now. He does. She don't think he wants to pay that price to get that. But like Bell ain't gonna even be.
Yeah, I think it'll get worked out.
Yeah, and
Uh,
then Caleb Caleb Downs don't strike me as the kind of guy that's gonna make a big deal out of that. I think he'll just go play in his number.
well, his dad said that he wouldn't. His dad also said that he was frugal. He wouldn't spend money like that. But I don't think he's gonna have to.
Nah.
I think it's going to all work out. I would love to see Barham wear 56 instead of 55. I think 55 is kind of goofy.
Yeah, I might
Uh,
want to like more like Van Der Esch number. Ain't that Leighton Van Der Esch number?
it's Van Der Esch number, but it's originally Leroy Jordan's number, the
Yeah,
middle linebacker for the Cowboys in the 70s that should be in the Hall of
number
Fame. It's
2. I don't think he
Leroy
wants to
Jordan.
pay that price for number 2. Yeah, I mean, well, number 2 is Bell,
Well,
right?
number 2 is
No,
Kobe
Kobe
Durant.
Durant. Right. And then Bell got 14, which Kobe Durant won't 14. I mean, it's all good, you know. So I'm just excited to see them come out and play. I feel like Christian Parker is doing the positionless scheme, and I really, really feel like that's where the NFL is going in order to be successful.
Like the NBA.
Yeah, and you can, as you can see, it's working. These teams that got these players that can do everything, they be balling when they get it all together. Like
You saw what's his name hit a three last night from
the
Steph
art.
Curry range.
Yeah, so like how can you stop that? You cannot stop that. There is no way to stop that. And it's just like at the end of the game when
Wemby.
yeah, Wimby, you can't stop that. When I mean, like, how can you stop that? Like, I was watching that last play when they went up, when they finally went up in the second overtime, when he just like stood at the top of the key. He literally didn't even have to like move his eyes. The point guard was watching Wimby the whole time. He didn't even have to move his eyes. He was just like, listen, Wimby is ISO right there. He by himself. All I gotta do is throw this ball high in the sky. That's all I gotta do.
Well,
Wimby
they were
literally
they were
just
doing a
touched it.
good job defending that play in the first half, but in the second half it started working.
But what I'm saying is like, yeah, they were doing a good job defending it. But if you know that, because that's in the flow of the game. If the game is on the line and you have to get him that ball that high, you can do that. You can do that to where
Mm-hmm.
you can say, I'm gonna just put it up here where no matter what, it's gonna, you know what I mean? It's not gonna.
And then
So
he can dish it off too. He ain't got to shoot it every time.
nah,
And but
they
no,
got them. They got them hitters on their team.
but yeah, I think last night what hurt them, what almost cost them the game. They kept having uh, Harper bring the ball up, and he kind of was kind of getting caught down in the paint. They should always let Castle bring it up, and
Yeah. Well, they
but
coaching staff, you know, they gonna look at that and they gonna come back. They gonna play different tomorrow.
and then they won without De'Aaron Fox. So I don't even what's his injury. I thought that was weird that he wasn't playing. Like,
I
bro,
don't,
you gotta play in these kind of games.
I don't know, but they won without him. It took them 2 overtimes to do it. But
Yeah,
if
it's gonna be.
if they haven't figured it out yet, I'm going for the Spurs.
Oh well, yeah,
Uh,
we going for the Spurs. We
Speaking of,
mhm.
Jason Kidd got fired today.
I still haven't seen that on Twitter.
Man, I just did all of this is just so weird, bro. It's just all of this is just
And
craziness.
they didn't have breaking news when I was watching the NBA pregame. So are you sure about this?
I mean, it went off on
I don't think
ESPN.
Jason Kidd has gotten fired.
I'm telling you, he got fired, man. Let's look it up right now. Jason Kidd got fired. And I was just talking about this yesterday. I was saying to myself, let's just go ahead and get him out of here, man. Uh Shocking reason behind Jason Kidd leaving Mavs revealed. Mavericks announced departure of head coach Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd fired months after signing lucrative deal. Jason Kidd and so he didn't get fired. It says Jason Kidd and Mavericks decide to mutually part ways.
Well, the new general manager is going to bring in his own guy, but I think it's just a cleanup on Al 3 with the whole thing with Luca. I think uh, if they smart too, this is kind of
Mm,
like down the road. They just going to start kind of cleaning up on Al 3 to eventually get Luca to be the prodigal son and come back.
that would be so wonderful. You know what they're saying though, right here though, and this makes a lot of sense, and I think this is true. They're saying that Kidd wanted to be the general manager, and when they hired the other general manager, when Massey hired the other guy, he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and dip because
Yeah,
that's
I
what he
heard he
wanted
wanted
to
to
do.
be the GM too, which
Yeah,
that's kind of weird to me, but
it ain't because Pop did it. That's what all these
uh,
coaches finna start doing. Watch.
yeah, but
Yeah, that's what they finna start doing. That's what they finna start doing. They finna start doing that. Just like in the NFL, they doing it too. These coaches, they becoming general managers on the cool. That's what they doing.
but I was always a kid guy. I mean, I just kind of hate they didn't get a championship that year they went. and then he didn't
Well,
get a chance to go back. And I think that team with Luca, you get a chance to get another one, and the way the whole thing kind of went down, it's just pretty much
no,
bad all the way around.
I'm a kid guy. Now he won with us at home when we won. So that was
Yeah,
cool. And kid, I met him several times growing up. He's a nice guy. He would always be with the Mavericks when they would do their outings. When they would come to a Dale Turner, he would always be there. Uh and so
was he
I
a real like really tall guy in person?
back then, I mean, but I just remember him just, being a personable person. Like he was the type of person that you could shake his hand and he'd talk to you for a little while. It wasn't like he was like a star. Like he wasn't standoffish. He was
Yeah,
always real cool, real laid back. He would be talking to Coach Wood, standing up there talking like they've been knowing each other forever. They came a couple years in a row. And then one year I won that basketball where they had to shoot the free throws and I made the free
mm.
throw. And then you remember we went to that Mavericks camp. Remember, uh, me and you, mom, and Lauren went to that Mavericks camp when we seen Dirk and we seen all of them at Reunion Arena.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jason Kidd was on the team then. Uh, I think so and then Jason Kidd. Okay, we had the Luka situation. Okay, Jason Kidd came over here. We know he played in Brooklyn. We know he coached in Brooklyn. He was an assistant coach or whatever. And then at first we was like, is it gonna work? And then it was like, okay, Jason Kidd at the beginning of the year, he was always struggling with closing out games. Then he fixed that. And then they was just like, I bet. Well, they got put out the first round by the Clippers. We was like, dang, it would sure be nice if we can come back next year and whoop them. And that's exactly what happened. We came back next year, we whooped them, got them out of there. Then we beat who else did we beat? We beat the Lakers that year, right? When we just like skunked them in that last game.
You talking about when Jason Kidd was playing,
Nah, when he was a
like
coach.
coaching?
Coaching, coach.
I can't remember who he played. I know he played Oklahoma, Minnesota.
No, on top, yeah. I think the year
When
that
we went
that
to
was
the
the year before
finals.
that. Yeah, well, we went to the Western Conference Finals and we lost to Boston to Denver, I think. Who do we lose?
Uh,
Who do we lose the Western Conference Finals to?
I can't remember. I thought it was the Clippers. I can't remember.
No, we lost to the Clippers in the first round, and then we beat the Clippers the next year.
I can't remember who it was.
But Jason Kidd was just a good coach, man. But then this whole thing with Luca happened, and it was just like, man, Jason Kidd, he looked like he was like not a part of it at first, but then it was just like, well, you kind of looking like you are a part of it because you ain't saying, you're not wearing your emotion on your sleeve, and you talking about the business, and this clearly ain't the business, dude. This ain't that. No,
Yeah.
no. If you're gonna be, I mean, they taking your best player away for nothing. So it's just like, you grew this kid. You're the one that developed him. You developed Luca to what he is right now. And you brought Kyrie over here because you and Kyrie have a relationship and you knew what Kyrie was going to do for Luca. And he did that. They became Batman and Robin for real. And we didn't even think that was going to work. And you mean to tell me that you don't have nothing to say about that? You don't really like, scold Nico
Well,
and all of that?
I do think Nico and the owner, they were primarily the reason it happened. I mean, I don't know what Kid was doing in the background, but it seemed like to me that Nico, is it Nico or Miko? I always get it
It's
mixed up
Nico
with the N.
with the N.
Yeah, him and the new owner, the owner's son-in-law. I mean, it was just so. It's like you say with the Cowboys when you would say all of these things that can happen, or bad things are going to happen, and they all happen. How do you say it?
What do you
It's like
mean?
when you said with Dallas, like with Michael, you said these things right here, if they can happen a bad way, I don't know how you say it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
You
know.
said all these things can go wrong. You said it with the
Mhm.
Michael situation.
Everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong.
Yeah,
Everything to
that's
the
what happened
to the
with Michael and Luca.
yes, to the worst degree. Everything that could have went wrong went wrong.
That's what. Yeah, there you go. That's what happened
Yes.
with both trades.
Yes, sir. Everything that could went wrong went wrong. Like think about this. Luca gets traded. That's the first thing that go wrong. Then he gets traded for a player like Anthony Davis. That's the second thing that went wrong because Anthony Davis is always what hurt. Anthony
Hmm.
Davis gets hurt on the first game back from to Dallas.
Now he's not even here.
That's like the fifth thing that went wrong. He gets traded. He's not even here no more. He does nothing to the team. He gets traded. Okay. Then Nico gets fired.
Hmm.
Okay. And now Kid is not here no more. I mean,
Yep.
this is just, I mean, like I said, I was just laughing when I seen it. Just like, what else? If they're gonna do us like this, then let's just go
Yeah,
ahead and just
we
do it.
go. Well, right now we just waiting for the return of Luca. Like LeBron went back to Cleveland. It's possible.
It's possible, especially the way the Lakers is playing, and then LeBron is making it possible because they not really, they not the super team that thought they was gonna be.
Well, yeah, LeBron is on the back nine. Luca. I'm not really sure that he likes living out there. I don't know.
I mean,
Everybody likes California, but
for him to come back home on that game and just be in tears like that, and to just be like he just was like so like distraught and crushed, and then it's just like for the Mavericks to like slander his name and like drag him through the mud on the way out, and then like bro, that was just like and then that was devastating to the fans because
yeah.
like we were like uh devastated. I mean, some of us haven't even watched. I haven't watched a full basketball game since the trade. I especially have not watched a Maverick game since the trade.
I really haven't either. So I'm kind of getting into it now with the playoffs, and I'm pulling for the Spurs. They was my team during the time when the Mavericks wasn't playing for a championship. I was pulling for the Spurs, and they played Miami.
Me too. I was pulling for Tony Parker, Pop, Ginobili,
Yeah.
Jack, all them. Kel said California taxes are high as hell. Yeah, they are, but he still has a home here, and he still got all this stuff here.
So
But
let's get him back here to save taxes.
yeah, let's get him back here to save taxes. The return of the prodigal son, Luca, because that was just
So
crazy.
we got to talk about we'll talk about this Michael movie, but I want to get your update on how you think this defense is going to turn out. I'm kind of still in limbo on how this thing is going to fit. You seem more confident about it than I am. You talking about the position of the players. I like the way that sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Caleb Downs even more. Just kind of taking some time to kind of drill down on him.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like a Darren Woodson. I mean, starter kid. I mean, the same leadership, playing sideline to sideline. I mean,
I want to tell Kels
he got
this real quick about that. So he got the
mm,
what?
well, he got the everything that you need from that position that we've been missing.
So Kels, check this out. So when you look at the best free agents that I'll be in NYC for the second Knicks game, hey, now
The
I'm
second
not a
Knicks game.
I'm not a Knicks fan, but I like Brunson, a little bit, and I like Cat a little bit. Now Cat, do Cat still play for the Knicks? Did he get
Yeah, he
traded?
playing now.
I like Cat and I like Brunson, but I don't want to see them win before Luca because Brunson and Luca did their thing. But Brunson deserve a championship, and he cold like that.
And how did we lose Bronson again? How did that whole thing happen?
They just didn't re-up his contract. Remember they could have. You remember they didn't sign him when they should have signed him for like 25 or something like that, and then they let him go with his dad to the Knicks. They should have signed him a couple years before, but they didn't. They didn't extend his contract, his rookie contract, and they didn't give him big money.
Yeah.
And
Well,
but
they're not going to be Philly or Oklahoma City.
Nah. They not deep like that. They not good enough for that. You
Mm-mm.
know, they're not good enough for that. Whoever come out the West is gonna win it all. But back to the defense skills. When you look at the free agents that we got, or like not the free agents, when you look at the players that we acquired since the end of the year, the best players they come from the Cardinals, which is Jalen Thompson, so and Kobe Durant from the Rams. So I went back and I looked at. I said I wonder what kind of scheme do the Cardinals run. So I went and looked at the Cardinals who run the, what kind of scheme the Cardinals run. I'm not a fan of any team. I have no allegiance to a team. I have a $6 Wizards jersey. I only wear when I go to the games with my or my soror or my ex. Shout out to your ex. with my
Shout out to
soror.
Osoro.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nah, listen. The the Rams. No, the Cardinals. So the Cardinals.
hey, real quick, while you're saying that, Kel, do you take a train from DC to New York, or do you drive? How long does it take? So go on, finish your point.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So the Cardinals defense is ran by their defensive coordinator used to be the Philadelphia Eagles linebacker coach when Christian Parker was there. So that makes sense to me on why we got that safety specifically, because he knows the defense. And then I looked at the Rams defense, and the first thing it says is the Rams run the Vic Fangio defense. That's all I needed to see. And so when you have these players that come from a defense that already knows how to run the scheme, you know, you setting yourself up for success. And then with Caleb, it's just like when you watch, see, like I said something the other day, and I was like, I don't see how you don't agree with that. When you look at Caleb Downs, just go type in on YouTube Caleb Downs cover. You know, no. He will take a player out of the game. He will take Malik out the game. I mean, he'll take Malik Neighbors out the game, and on top of that, he probably got the best hands on the team. Caleb Downs do. He probably got the best hands on the team. If he get anywhere near the ball, he catches it. And then on top of that, on top of that,
he's a good tackler.
He's a great tackler. And then on top of that, Christian Parker already said that he is going to play the nickel corner. That's what he did. That's what he did it for. He said, I got him because he can play the nickel corner. So that's what he gonna play. A lot of times he gonna play the nickel corner. So, these other teams, the offenses, the Cowboys did it first. Nobody the Cowboys did it first. You gotta give them the credit on that. The Cowboys did it first when they did positionless wide receivers. They did that first. Nobody else was doing that. AJ was lining up in the same spot. Everybody was lining up in the same spot. Dez was lining up in the same spot. T. Higgins was lining up in the same spot. Now, after CD started lining up in the slot when we had Amari Cooper, and then the next year when we didn't have Amari Cooper, they still had CD lining up in the slot on some plays, and then he lined up at the X some plays, and then some plays he'd be in the backfield, and some plays he'd be on the other side on the weak side. See, now all these teams is doing that. Now you watch AJ and you be like, bro, what is he doing in the slot? Because it's just like that's how all these teams is doing that now. They have positionless wide receivers. If you're a wide receiver, there ain't no such thing as no X wide receiver no more. You might have an X wide receiver build, but that don't mean that you're not gonna line up on the inside and somebody gonna be outside of you, because that's just how the game goes. You would rather want your defense to give it up and say, okay, we playing man, and DaRon Bland is following this guy. We playing man if he does. If he does not, then that means that AJ is lining up on a weak slot corner, or he's lining up on a weak linebacker, somebody that cannot cover him. It's just like Travis Kelce does this a lot. He's a tight end, but he will line up in the slot, and the linebacker will be covering him, and he will be open every time because the linebacker can't cover him. When you playing him, I don't care if he line up in the tight end, if he line up in the slot, he need a cornerback to cover him. Otherwise, they're gonna figure out a way to get him lined up on get him lined up on the linebacker. And when they do that, Patrick Mahomes is gonna throw it to him every time, and he's gonna catch it. So it's just like, CD do the same thing. you can trot your slot corner out there on CD when he playing the slot if you want to. He gonna catch the ball every time, and
But
so
you don't think he would against Downs?
it'll be a great show because Downs is just a good he's just a good player. It'll be kind of like CD going up against a good corner. Like he gonna catch
I
some, and he
think
gonna
Downs would be a better matchup with some of these tight ends that normally give us
well,
problems,
first
like
of all,
George Kittle.
right. No, if that's what you were asking, George Kittle or Travis, ain't too many corners that can cover them.
Mhm.
But at the same time, he is a good corner, so he would do good. But these receivers, they're unguardable. Some of them are. Like I don't care what you do. You can't guard Jamar Chase. You can't guard CeeDee Lamb. You can't guard Justin Jefferson. You can try to double them if you want to, but you just like covering them one on one. Out
Mhm.
of 10 reps, they're gonna catch 7 of them. So it's nothing that you can do about that. They're
Pickens too.
that good. Oh, Pickens gonna catch all of them. You cannot guard him. I don't care what you do. You just can't. It's not the only thing you can do is get him out to play. Um, but as far as like winning a jump ball or something like that, or like sitting on a route or something like that, out of 10 plays, you're gonna fail. 7, 8 of the times he's gonna catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how they go until these corners get better. And we might be seeing that now. Like these corners that's coming out now, like the corner that got hurt, I ain't seen no corner cover like him. And the other corner too. And what was the corner that I wanted? I ain't see. He be covering for real. Uh
McCoy.
Not McCoy. That's who I was talking about at first. I'm talking about the other one that I wanted that went in the second round. Not
I don't know who
Jade.
that was.
Aaron.
I like our corner that we got, Devin Moore. I think I want to see him.
Yeah. Devin Moore. But anyways, yeah, these corners, they not, nah. It's gonna take a team effort to stop these receivers. That's why I don't see AJ. I don't think AJ's going to the Titans. I think AJ's staying with the Eagles because that makes them a powerhouse on offense. If they got
I saw something today. They still leaning toward him. He don't like. He don't like. He don't like the coach, and he doesn't like Jalen Hurts. So
but I mean, like, why wouldn't you just stay, get one more year out of him and then trade him?
I just don't. I don't think it's a good mix for him or the franchise. They don't want a championship. So when guys get their money and they get their ring, he ain't really about that life. But like you said, I think they'll be better with him.
Kale said Cardinals are still going to run a unique and versatile 3-4 base defense formation that frequently morphs into a 3 high safety shell structure or a penny package. See, I read that exactly what she just put. I read that when I googled what kind of defense do the Cardinals run, and that's when I figured out that they coordinator used to be an Eagles linebackers coach the same years that what's his name was there. So it just
So
makes sense.
yeah.
And then she
So
said she's already making contact with her connects from the teams that were playing this year so she can script her shows.
your phone kind of faded out. I mean, your mic kind of faded out.
She said she's already making contacts with her connects from the teams that we're playing so she can script her shows.
Sounds like she gonna have the inside skinny. So tell her we got to get her on our show and on the OG podcast. Special guest
Yeah,
Kels from the DMV.
we gotta get that. We gotta make that happen. And I be watching your shows, Kels. We gotta make that happen because hey, we love when you come on our show, even in the chat. So we gotta bring you on so our fans can see who you are and so they can follow your. As a matter of fact, Kels, put your link in the chat. Put your channel link in the chat, and everybody that's watching our show tonight, make sure y'all look in the chat for Kale's link. She has her show. She just started it and it's a really good show. She has a lot of inside information and she has yet to be wrong with her inside information. All her inside information be correct. So y'all go check her out. She just started her channel and it's a really good show. So y'all make sure y'all check it out. Make sure you post it in the chat a couple times, Kales. And but yeah, now let's talk about this Michael movie. So what was your impression of the Michael movie?
It was really good. I was kind of surprised. I kind of was kind of hesitant to go see it. Because I kind of been with Michael and the Jacksons and the Jackson Five for so long. I saw him for the first time in Dallas in 1970 when they came to the Dallas Convention Center as a Jackson Five. I actually saw him twice. I think I saw him around the time I probably was 5 years old. The second time they came, I might have been 6 years old. But then, of course, just been a big fan of his, Michael Jackson, the whole time. So, I kind of had mixed emotions about going to see the movie, but I was glad I went. I mean, I saw it in that theater that you referred us to. I don't even know what it's called. I've never been in a theater like that before. What is it called?
I don't know what it's called either, but they have the screen around you.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the screen goes all the way around you. It's like you're in the middle of the screen. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, when
You're
a
in,
giraffe came when a giraffe came by in the movie, it started over here and it came all the way around and kept on walking around that way.
so it's called the grand screen at our movie theater. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, it was pretty amazing. The sound, man, the music, the sound. I thought the way they did the story. A lot of people are not happy with some of the stuff they left out, which is kind of weird to me. You can't do everything that happened in a 2.5 hour movie. And then I'm gonna also have mixed emotions about if they do a part two. I'm gonna kind of feel the same way. I'm not really sure I want to see it because some of the stuff that happened, especially if they talk about what happened to him at the end, I definitely don't want to see that. But
Yeah,
I'm just in general. If I see a movie, I kind of want to be uplifted. I don't want to be sad and all of that kind of stuff.
well, definitely gonna be sad if it's a part two.
Well, like I said, it's so much to cover. It might have to be a part three. So if they
Yeah,
do part two and just do some of the stuff before the part three,
yeah.
it would be a great movie. But
They
yeah,
can
it
do
was.
part two and just do the bad tour. That's all they gotta do, the bad tour, and then the tour after that. And then yeah.
So I kind of had to go back and just kind of go through some of the things that happened over the years that I pretty much knew about, and they had a tour in there that they don't really talk about a lot. So it was
The
around
victory tour.
1980, the Victory Tour. Well, no, the Victory Tour was the one that he did with his brothers after the Motown thing.
Ah.
But they had a tour before that.
Mm.
So, and they don't talk about it a lot. I played you some of the music from that CD or album this weekend, and that was a really big tour too.
Mm.
Uh, they kind of touched on it in the movie, but like I said, the bottom line is the music, just the way they did everything, and people don't give the Jacksons, uh, you know, what do you
Enough
call it?
credit.
They don't give
They
their,
just do.
yeah, their music, the stuff that they did, is just really really good stuff. So it's kind of like people don't talk about Off the
Mm.
Wall enough, but the Jacksons had some really good music.
Kel says she's going to see the movie next week when she get back from New York. Here's a fun fact: she met and sung with Michael Jackson twice.
Well, we gotta hear that story.
Yeah.
Uh, so I saw them as a Jackson 5, like I said, in 1970, 71. I was at the Victory Tour at Texas Stadium, and then I saw the Bad Tour at Reunion Arena. And so the Victory Tour, it was at Texas Stadium, about 80,000 people, probably more than that, because they had people on the floor too. And it was good. It was a good concert. The Bad Tour is still the best concert I ever been to and I've been to like literally like thousands of concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Prince on New Year's Eve Purple Rain tour in Dallas,
I did too.
but Michael is, I just don't think it's no comparison.
No, ain't no comparison. And then see, when we were growing up, when I was growing up, we didn't really have a lot of technology like they got now. So all we had music. That's really what we did all day. You know what I'm saying? So all the Michael Jackson albums, the Jackson 5 albums. I mean, we would just listen to those albums back to back to back to back. I mean, for years at a time. I mean, like, I know every single word to I think I know every single word to just about every single Michael Jackson song. I think I know every single word. If it's an album on iTunes, I know the words to every song. Now I'm sure he got some Jackson 5 songs that I have never heard before, because I just be scrolling through them listening today and in the past. But the main albums, I know every single song on every single album, on the main albums, on Off the Wall, on Thriller, on Invincible, on Bad, on all of them. So we are like super duper Michael Jackson fans. We used to just watch the concerts when they would come on. My dad would record the concerts, and then we would just watch them back to back to back to back to back. We would practice the dance moves when they did the Smooth Criminal. All of the videos, the little short movies that he would make, we would watch them all. We would watch them all. We would practice their dance moves. That's what we was doing. And even my son now, even he likes Michael Jackson. He watched
Yeah.
the movies. So it's like,
So it's a generational thing. I think the music, it just touches so many people. It doesn't really matter what race you are. At the concert, not the concert. I'm calling it the concert because it was just like being at a concert. At the movie credits are playing and nobody's leaving. They just sitting there. People are dancing. People are just like nobody's leaving. And so we kind of made our way out, but that's how good the movie was. The music at the end, kind of, I guess they were playing some of the music. Did you notice that when your movie was over, people were still sitting there and just
yeah,
vibing?
man, our heart was beating the whole movie. It was just like, man, the movie was just because it's like, what's gonna happen, and what's finna happen, and then everything that they're doing in the movie is just like, it looks so much like the real thing. Jafar looked just like Michael Jackson. And some points of the movie we had to guess, and I was thinking that maybe they just dubbed the real footage, because that's how.
Well, I think they kind of mixed in some of the actual music. It wasn't him singing. I think it was Michael. But I think the way they did it. Now, I was going to ask you. So at the end, the concert that they're doing with him, so they did Human Nature, and then he did Bad. Did they like just recreate the concert with the people in a stadium? I wonder how did they do that, because it looked like he was at an actual concert,
Yeah,
but it was Jafar.
I think they did an actual concert with Jafar.
Okay.
Yeah, they probably did like an actual concert with Jafar.
Well, it looked like it was at a baseball stadium,
Yeah.
so that they probably would have been able to kind of replicate that. But
Hmm.
but yeah, it was just the Human Nature song in the movie. When you
Well,
hear the drummer, the drums, and it's just like it's incredible.
when they recreate the show that they're doing, that's Wimby that they're recreating. That's the show where he
Yeah,
did Bad for the first time, and he did, that's the first time anyone had heard those songs. It wasn't the performance that he did at Wimby in the Bad tour.
yeah, and so like I said, when I saw the Bad tour, the album had just came out, and we were listening to CDs then. I believe I think CDs kind of came out after that. I have to go back and think about that. But yeah, I think when I saw the Bad tour, I really hadn't heard. The only song that I had heard, um, what song was it? But it wasn't one that you would recognize. He released just one of the songs that really didn't do a whole lot. But then and then Smooth Criminal, I'm talking about the actual album had been out probably like a year and a half, almost 2 years before he started doing the whole Smooth Criminal thing. So it went on for a while. Just like Thriller, Thriller itself, the impact of the Thriller, the album, it was like 3 or 4 years, and people were still like,
Well, I was just
taking it
reading the
all
other
in.
day. I was reading the other day. So, Thriller, the album, was the first time that they had used analog and real instruments at the same time. So, you know how like we be making beats now, we can just use our laptop and make beats and recreate a whole bunch of sounds. I can play the
Hmm.
piano on my laptop. So, it's like that was the first time that they were doing that. Like that was the introduction of analog and real instruments. And so, I figured that out because I've been on YouTube looking at the raw tracks in the demos. Like you can hear Human Nature with just the instrumental. You can hear just the just the
The
piano.
vocals.
Yeah, just the vocal, just the piano, all that stuff. You can just see it. You can just hear it by itself. And so when you play that, it's just like it's amazing to hear. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to hear his vocals and him doing riffs and him doing like take one, take two, take three, and then it's just like you can be like, oh, that's where they got that part from, and that's how they made it sound like that, and you could hear his brothers. And so another thing that I wanted to talk about too. So Off the Wall was him recording. He recorded Off the Wall. You could hear it on YouTube, like to where like he was in there behind the board. He would start the track, and then you could hear him like walk out of that room, open the door, and get behind the mic where his brothers was
Hmm.
already at. So you can kind of hear, and then you can tell because like the vocals are off, they're super loud, and it's like you could tell that it wasn't a real producer doing this. It was him. You could tell.
So I was so I think I was we had moved. We had moved. So I had started. I was a freshman in high school when I Want to Rock with You came out. Because when that came out, I thought it was actually the Jackson Five. I didn't know it was him by himself. Okay,
Right.
and then when the Billie Jean video came out, that was like a whole year later. We were living at the house on Redbird, and it
Mm.
was like I'm telling you, the time this music just spread out over years, and the way they did that. And then with Thriller, he waited to the end to do that, and they showed that in the movie. That was the very last thing he did, the video.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, it was just crazy, kind of reliving some of those things. But yeah, they were the Beatles, and I think they were even bigger if you ask me when you add him in, uh, because they were doing things that nobody else was doing. That they were talented, and it was all of them. But I just think that and then I do like the way he came back and did that. I'm watching Madison Square Garden right now with the Knicks. They done came back. They was down by 10.
Mm.
But the Madison Square Garden concert that he did with them, people don't talk about that a lot. I hope they do cover that in the second movie, because they made it sound like in the movie that he did the comment where this is my last show with my brothers, and blah blah. But of course he ended up doing another show with them again, which that always happens.
They were so excited on that show at Madison Square Garden. All of them was excited.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a good
Tito was
concert.
excited. Marlon got out. Did you see when Marlon was like, got off script? And Michael had to come kind of check him a little bit, and
No,
then
that was
Randy,
Randy.
Randy,
Yeah,
Randy got off script, and Michael then ran over there like, I can't believe this fool. And then
yeah.
it's
You,
just like,
you got to watch Randy.
it's just like these this is his real brother, and it's just like these are they bro. This is like this is like it's just crazy to how they interact. And then I'm watching. I watched a documentary on them a couple days ago where like they got home videos and they got videos where they in Motown studio and listening to Jackie talk and listening to Marlon talk and listening to Michael. Michael probably like I don't know
And I was gonna tell you where we went to Chicago. Uh, so you're on Lake Michigan, and
mm-hmm.
so across the lake, you can just see this other town, this little city that's over there. It kind of looks like industrial.
Gary
So that's Gary. It's like right there. So Gary, Indiana, is basically Chicago.
or Detroit.
I think Detroit is further up, going the other way.
Cause like I got a friend from Gary, and he always say that it's just like being in Chicago.
Yeah, it's right there.
As a matter of fact, everything that he talks about, he does. He talks about it as in Chicago. Like when he say like I was at home, and then he say he went to the Chicago wreck. He talking about it. But if he was to say what back at home, I go to this wreck, he would be talking about a wreck that's in Chicago, even though he's from Gary.
So the lady, one of the ladies, she worked in the builder's office when we bought our home at First Texas in DeSoto.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember her name, but anyway, she was from Gary, and she said that she would see them perform at her church when they first started. She knew the whole family.
That's wild.
She
Well,
was from there.
they are like he is the best of all time at everything. I mean, I'm listening to his vocals. People can't say that he wasn't the best singer either, because he was.
Yeah, he was the best. And he was the best. He was the best all around. He had, I mean, everything.
Yeah.
The music. He had the great producers with him. And then I've been watching a couple of things too. It's a lot of guys that you know Quincy Jones, but it was a lot of other people too involved with them. That was doing the music. You know, a guy named what's his name? He was originally with the group called Heat Wave. And
Rod or Rod.
Tipperton.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of other people.
Now, if
And
you
then,
go on his YouTube page, he got a YouTube page. That's where I'm getting all the tracks from.
okay, yeah. So he did a lot of stuff. But yeah, it was a total team effort. It was just a perfect storm of all these people coming together and doing this great music. So,
Like
but
when you
yeah,
listen to the track breakdown, you listen to the masters, and you hear how Rod Temperton wrote some of the songs. When you just
mhm,
listen to the masters, you be like, yeah, this song wouldn't have been what it was if it wasn't for Michael. It would,
yeah.
you just listen to the song and you can hear Michael taking over the track, you know, and yeah.
And the videos I was watching today, it was just kind of talking about him and Quincy. There was some tension in between those two because they were just two big forces, and Quincy was just like he wanted him to do certain things, and certain things. Michael was like, shoot, I don't think we can do any better. This Quincy was like, nah, we can make this better, and Michael was like, nah, this is probably it. We need to stop right here. So and
Yeah.
and Quincy didn't like the way Billie Jean started, so they kind of had a disagreement on that. But Michael ended up winning, and it ended up being, it ended up being a big hit. I was gonna tell you, is it "Lady of My Life" or "Lady in My Life"?
Yeah. Lady in my life. Yeah.
So what's weird about that song? He never performed it at a concert. I never saw him do it, which was weird.
I've never
Uh,
Liberian girl either.
no, he didn't. I just think the other song was bigger, but yeah, he never did that one at a concert, and that was like a big hit. So it's kind of, I would like to know why come he never did that song in concert.
And then when you hear him actually, when you hear the masters on it, you can just hear how he just layered it. Like it's just like you could hear him. And then I was gonna tell you on off the wall that is his brothers in the background singing in the background. It
Oh,
ain't just
okay,
him. You
okay,
can
I
hear,
didn't know that.
yeah, you could hear him on the, you could hear them on them tracks I sent you. You could hear them arguing in the background.
Oh, okay, well,
Like on one of them, you know, uh, uh, Jermaine is telling Michael like turn my headphones down, and
mm,
then and then
no,
Marlon tells him like and then Marlon start arguing with him, and you can hear them like playing around in the background, and you can hear them like step up to the microphone and start doing. So the family says that Jermaine can sing. No, the family says that Jackie can sing better than Michael.
no, it was Jermaine.
Jermaine, okay, so
Yeah,
the family say that Jermaine,
which he can't, but yeah.
but that's what his sister said, and that's what his
Yeah.
dad said. His dad said Jermaine can sing.
So, I was telling you, I think if they really wanted to, and I'm sure somebody has talked to them about it. I don't know if Jafar will want to do it. They could tour with Jafar as the lead. I think they would do really well. I think people would. you wouldn't be able to get tickets to it. It would be sold out.
It'd be
And
sold out worldwide, and they would have to do it worldwide.
yeah, and I'm not. He doesn't come across to me as a guy that probably would want to do it.
Nah, I don't think so either.
But yeah, they could do it, and they would be great. They
Maybe
would
they
make
should
a lot
just
of
do it
money.
one time.
Yeah, I mean it would be terrific.
It'd probably be over 1 million people there if they do it if they do it at Coachella.
And just like at Hollywood Bowl, where we saw Earth, Wind, and Fire with the orchestra, if they
Mhm.
did it, it would be incredible.
R.I.P. Tito, right?
What's RIPT?
Tito.
Oh yeah, man. Tito, that would kind of caught me by surprise. I didn't even know Tito had passed, which was
Yeah.
kind of weird. They
Hmm.
say he was in his car or something.
I don't know. I haven't looked up the story.
Yeah,
I
he
just
had a
know
heart
he
attack
passed
in his
away.
car.
Well, I just like Tito. He was always the one that did the interviews and was white and transparent, and he gave you an inside scoop before you had an inside scoop because he was
And
always
and
diligent.
I didn't even know this. As much as I know about the whole story and everything that went on with him, I didn't know that Jermaine was the bass and then Tito was like the acoustic guitar.
I
Which
didn't know that.
which I knew what Tito did, but I never thought that Jermaine was a bass player. I didn't know that.
Well,
But yeah, that's what he does. Yeah,
Tito and Jermaine, I mean, they were so good at their roles. You know, you can hear them on every song once you figure out whose voice is whose. You can hear them. You know what I mean? You can hear them harmonize, and then they sound
yeah.
good. They sound great.
So the movie is terrific. I think like I said, I'm gonna be if they do a part two. I just want to probably know what was in it. I don't
You
want
know,
to. I don't want
the
to.
movie had a the movie had a so the Knicks then won. So
This lady I follow, she done saw it 8 times.
yeah, it's that good. And then also it's just like an American Dream, the Jackson, the 3-part series, they set the standard kind of high
They
because
did. Yep.
that movie right there, when I was growing up, I thought that was really Michael Jackson.
And they did a really good job with it. And so the Jermaine and the brothers, they had a lot of input on that one as well. Uh,
Yeah, it went deep into some stuff that
yeah,
we wish they would
it
have
was
touched on.
good. It was
Yeah, it was
really
great.
good.
It was good. I watched it
Uh,
today, and it was just like it was like I was watching it for the first time.
yeah, but this movie right here, it's like a separate movie, and I think they did a really good job with it. But yeah, the just the way they did the video part of it, the sound, they playing music all throughout it. But yeah, I would say this, and we can go ahead and wrap. The movie centers really bother me, and the way they promoted it, and they got all these Academy Award nominations. I think it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It was I've never been to a movie, and I said I want to get my money back. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can be at a restaurant and my food is not good. I don't send my food back. I just roll with it. But watching that movie was the first time I thought about just going to the front office saying, "Hey, to the ticket office saying I need to get my money back. This is just like horrible." But I
I
said
never
all that.
watched that whole movie.
I said all that to say this: this movie right here should get all of the awards that they got,
Mm.
and they'll be well deserving. Jafar should get nominated for Best Actor, Neil Long Best Actress, and then the guy that played his dad. I've seen him in several movies. He has an African sounding name, right?
I don't know his name.
Yeah, he played in a lot of movies, and you probably don't remember seeing some of them. You remember the one of my favorite movies, Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the movie, it's two Confederate soldiers, and they're talking to him.
He was one of them.
He was one of those guys, and he also played in a movie with Oprah, and it was what was the movie?
The Color
The guy,
Purple.
no, the guy was the butler. Uh,
Oh, the Butler.
yeah, he played in that. He's been in some other movies, but he should get nominated as
Forrest
well.
Whitaker.
Yeah, he played in a movie with Forrest Whitaker. And I've seen him in some other things too, but yeah, he's an excellent actor. He should get nominated as well. The movie, they should, but the way this thing goes, they won't get many nominations. That's just kind of how they roll with this thing. And then the director that did it, he's the one that does all of the Equalizer movies. Is it
Mm.
Fuqua? How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, Fuqua.
So I didn't know he directed it to the end of the movie, and you can tell because he's just great. All of his stuff come out really good.
Yeah, he's a hell of a director.
But yeah, he directed this movie. So, but yeah, it was just it's excellent. So people they gonna make $1 billion. They had 700 million, and it's starting out in Japan. They said, and they already like going crazy.
Oh yeah, they gonna go nuts.
The Japanese people, so
Yes,
it's gonna gross $1 billion.
the Asians.
Yeah, the Asians, they
They
love it.
love Michael Jackson.
The Asians, they big with like all of these groups, the Earth, Wind and Fires, all of that.
They are.
They love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have I don't know why they like music, but they do. So
Yeah, they got they be recreating it just like we do. They be doing the Michael Jackson. They love it. So shout out to them.
and they've always had the best technology. So
Yeah, they
a
still
lot
got
of
the best technology.
so yeah, it's premiering. I think it's this weekend. So it's gonna be great. So we'll finish. We'll talk some more about it. But yeah, it was man, it was pretty amazing. And then the theater, because I wanted to go see it in IMAX. I can't imagine that would be better than what we saw it.
What Michael Jackson say? Nah, but no. What Quincy say? No, it can be better. Like nah, it can't be better than that.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
So,
that sound, man, when they playing those songs, when they play Human Nature,
mm-hmm.
it was like you was inside the concert hall, like on the stage.
You get the chills when you
That
hear
was
that song
that was
come on.
crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. All right, so we gonna wrap up, y'all. This was a great show. We've been on for like an hour and 15
But you
minutes.
need to tell people how to find our channel, why we doing it, and what we gonna be doing, and all. Because I don't think we get enough hits on it as far as like the sharing and likes and
Yeah, so
all that
you can
stuff.
find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on TikTok. And you want to just type in FASCAST, FASCAST, and make sure you're liking the videos and make sure you comment. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We kind of hit a halt in our subscriptions, but that's probably par for the course. I mean, the season is about to get underway, so we'll probably start picking up some more when the season gets closer. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all follow us. And like my dad said, we're a father and son duo, and we're gonna do more of this too, where we just talking about other stuff that we've encountered besides the Cowboys. We gonna broaden our horizons a little bit because content is content, and it all can revolve around the theme of the show, which is father and son across generations talking about things. So the Cowboys, Michael Jackson, those are just some of our interests. Make sure y'all follow the K Zone podcast as well. I put that Kels put that in the group chat. I mean, not the group chat, in the comment section. So y'all make sure y'all follow that.
That's our channel on YouTube.
Yeah, the K Zone podcast. She put her link in the chat. So y'all make
So
sure y'all
Kels,
give
make sure
her a
you
like.
let us know what you think about the movie.
Yeah. Maybe you could, well, yeah, after you see the movie Kels, maybe you can come on and we can talk about that too. Besides the cow, we can talk about the Cowboys and that and see how those numbers look.
I
We can
can't
do a
wait to
joint
see what
show.
you think. Kels she might be a tough crowd.
We'll see. So hopefully you can come on with us, Kels, and we can talk about it. So y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and we finna get on out of here, storming here. So we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all be safe if y'all in the area.